This article was submitted by Patreon supporter Logan D'Alessandro. Folks, it's now December. If you're at the $5 level for the article submission, I will be emailing all of you, so please send me your links and or topics that you want me to cover. This was in wolfstreet.com. Wolf Richter is sort of a, basically the website is called The Stories Behind Business, Finance, and Money, and it always gives you kind of the inside or the behind the scenes look at what's going on in the financial industry without all of the corporate media bullshit. The U.S. gross national debt jumped $723 billion in 12 weeks. As we're talking about this ridiculous GOP tax plan that's going to benefit the rich, screw people over, and this is the richest country in the history of the world where everyone could have a job. We could have green energy fueling the entire country. There could be no homeless. They could be all being taken care of. Everyone could have health care. Everyone could have college tuition. Everyone could have a really good job and benefits and retirement. And it could be this amazing country with like little to no crime. No, we can't have that. We need the corporate state to divide us and shame the poor. And this is a country is just, it's like being in an abusive household where both your parents are just raving, crazy alcoholics. I'll read you this. This came out November 30th. Even as lawmakers are trying to cobble together a tax bill that would cut revenues by $1.5 trillion over 10 years. We're going to lose $1.5 trillion in revenue if this tax bill goes through, which it probably will. It's a Republican Senate and Congress. John McCain now is saying he's on board with it. I'm sure a bunch of Democrats will buckle. The gross national debt has spiked $723 billion over the last 12 weeks since Congress suspended the debt ceiling. It just hit $20.57 trillion, or 105% of the GDP. $20.5 trillion. That's how big our debt is. But so good that everybody voted for that extra $80 billion for the war machine. Absolutely. So good. We definitely need more war. Over the past 6 years, since November 2011, the gross national debt has surged nearly 40%, or by $5.8 trillion. Back in 2011, gross national debt amounted to 95% of the GDP. Before the financial crisis, it was 63% of the GDP. There are no signs that the relentless rise of the debt is slowing down. On the contrary, the tax cuts are going to steepen the curve. They're getting tax cuts. It just means bringing in less money. It's like, I'm going to cut back my hours at work and make less money at work, but I'm going to buy 2 Ferraris and a boat. It's unreal. 2013, October. Debt ceiling, no more. $446 billion. Then we spent. 2015, November, debt ceiling, no more. We spent $650 billion. Debt ceiling. This year, September, November, $723 billion. It's crazy, and I'll put the link to the article below. You can see this chart. It goes up, debt ceiling, crack, shoots back up. It's insane. I'll tell you, here's what's going to happen, like these people are predicting. Finch Ratings believes that under a realistic scenario of tax cuts and macro conditions, the U.S. gross national debt will balloon to 120% of the GDP by 2027. We're not going to have another recession. We're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine, guys. Keep spending, rack up the credit cards, get a third mortgage. You'll be fine. The banks are going to be great. So on Wednesday, Fed Chair Janet Yellen was telling Congress about the economy, its challenges, and the disappointingly slow recovery since the recession. Yeah. And when she was asked about this trigger, she said that it was up to Congress to decide how to confront the fiscal outlook, but added that she was worried about the sustainability of the U.S. debt trajectory. This is what she said. The ideas of triggers motivated by the concern that some have over the picture we have of debt sustainability now and into the future, and I would simply say I am very worried about the sustainability of the U.S. debt trajectory. The future of the deficit and of debt trajectory should be a very significant concern, she said. On Monday, Dallas Fed President Robert Kaplan had chimed in about the unsustainability of the trajectory. I'm having problems with that word, trajectory. I will over-enunciate trajectory of the national debt, further complicating his assessment. In addition to the $25.5 trillion in outright debt, there is also the unfunded entitlements with a present value of approximately $49 trillion. $49 trillion? It's like drunk trust funders. In my view, Kaplan says, the projected path of U.S. government debt to GDP is unlikely to be sustainable and has been made to appear more manageable due to today's historically low interest rates. Yeah, he just said it. He just admitted it. The Fed's interest rate policy has only made the U.S. debt appear more manageable by keeping interest rates low. I remember in the 80s, things were out of control and interest rates were like 15%, 20%. They were crazy. So there you have it. The trajectory of U.S. government debt is unsustainable, according to Yellen, Kaplan, and many others. In fact, just about everyone acknowledges this except for the only people that can actually do something about it. The jackwagons in Congress. They don't even know the meaning of unsustainable. It's not part of their vocabulary. It has been replaced by fundraising and campaign contributions, and they're happier than ever to run up the debt. No holds barred. It's going to happen, guys. Remember what happened in the last recession? Prepare yourselves. I don't have a condo that I can sell now. That I don't have, like, what's going to happen? All these people that like burn through their retirement or burn through a life insurance policy or liquidated all this shit to get through the last recession, they can't do that anymore. They're not going to be able to do that anymore. I know some people that own some small businesses. And they're just like, yeah, I weathered the storm through the last recession. If this happens again, I can't do that. No one wants to learn. I guess America just has to learn the hard way, man. I guess we just have to learn the hard way. Thank you, Logan Aleksandar, for submitting this. You've been keeping me and this show very, very informed. And this is what you get to do when you're a Patreon, folks. You get to submit articles like this and open my eyes and everybody who watches this eyes to what's really going on. Are they talking about this on TV? CNBC talking about this? Money report. We're fucked. They're going to do that? No, because there's an ad for a credit card company coming right after them. And that's what I've talked about before. The big corporations that buy ad time, the military, the oil, the banks, big pharma, the main thing they're paying for, they're not paying for them to necessarily outright lie, although sometimes they do that. The main thing they're paying for is don't point your cameras at us. Don't investigate us. That's your main job. Okay? Here's your 7, 8-figure paycheck. Don't ask, what the hell are these? They're setting us up for another recession. Why aren't these people in jail? Why has Goldman Sachs been in every major? They have won every election, every presidential election. Now, Goldman Sachs has had people in every single presidential cabinet since Reagan. So this is not a democracy, it's a kleptocracy. Do what you got to do to protect yourself financially, folks, because it's coming. I hope I'm wrong. But a bunch of people that are 10 times smarter than I am, people that aren't left-wing, wingnut, surfing hippie comedians like me, are saying this shit. So, thanks for watching.